Welcome back to the Mad Media Podcast, guys. I'm your host, Ryder.
I'm John.
And today we're going to be specifically talking about the things that we hate. And even more specifically, we're going to be talking about the things in movies that we hate. We're going to be doing a whole other episode about the things that we maybe not hate, maybe strongly dislike, or things that we wish could be improved in music. But today we're going to be doing it for movies and TV and film specifically. So Johnny, you've got your list. I've got my list. You ready to rock?
I'm ready.
All right, let's just get right into it. Number one on my list, and this is a big one, and if you see it, you can't unsee it. A lot of people can have the bliss of just going through movies and not pick up on these things, but once you see it once, you'll see it every single time, and that is continuity mistakes. So, Johnny, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of continuity mistakes. Continuity mistakes would be where somebody is looking one way and they have a facial expression in one angle and then they cut to another angle and it's completely different. Or somebody's wearing a hat in one shot and then it cuts to another shot and they're not wearing that hat anymore. You know, it's off-putting. There's a specific one when I was looking up my different continuity mistakes that I forgot about. And have you seen Pretty Woman?
Yes.
Okay, so there's this scene where Julia Roberts is sitting at the dinner table, eating breakfast, talking to Richard Gere, and she's asking him about his job, she's asking him about his education, and during the entire time, she's munching on a croissant. And then it cuts to him, and he talks about how he went all the way in his schooling, and then it cuts back to her, and that croissant has magically turned into a half-eaten pancake.
Yeah.
And then not only is it half-eaten, it's got a clear U-shaped circle. So she says her line, and then she goes and proceeds to take a bite out of it, a clear bite to where that pancake would be even more deformed, cuts back to him, and then cuts back to her, and that bite never happened. And she goes to take it another time. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, that is insane. I'm like, I guess if you have a Pretty Woman, continuity doesn't matter. But that annoyed me to no end.
I was watching Inglourious Bastards the other day, and there's kind of an example of Quentin Tarantino's filming style that doesn't allow that. Where the bear Jew is gonna hit him doing all those negotiations to that. Yeah, it panders to the three people back and forth like this. You know what I mean? So it's like it has room for it. Yeah, but it's kind of a continuous shot, so it can't really happen. But I'm trying to think of like anything in general. It's like, you know, with food, it's a big one. Food is a big one, just because it's like never ending. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the hard thing with food artists. And like, I don't know if you guys know the difference between a food artist and a caterer on set. Caterer supplies the food for all the cast and crew and everything, but a food artist is specifically responsible for all the food that you see on screen. And so somebody like that, when they're eating something, they have like 20 different plates of the same thing ready to replace it if they have to redo a take, which is mind-numbing. But
could you imagine 8 hours of just taking small peckish bites of something?
I can't. I mean, I look at all these like food travel shows. I don't know how they do it with their they can only eat like a couple bites and then they have to keep it moving to the next spot.
Yeah. Well, it's like stuff like that. It's it kind of reminds me of it's a continuous shot, but on Biodome. Have you ever seen Biodome?
I think so, yeah.
Where they're on the phone, he's feeding him pizza and that and it's like it's one continuous shot, so he's just got a mouthful of pizza.
Oh my god!
It's like, how many of those did they have to do? Because he's got a New York slice, is a big slice.
Yeah, a lot of times. A lot of times actors don't actually chew and swallow. They chew and then they'll spit into a bucket, which is even more grotesque. Disgusting. But you do what you got to do. All right, continuity for me. What do you got?
Well, okay. One of the couple things that are like kind of it takes it happens in a lot of movies is the endless death.
Yep.
The whole you get shot and then there's 8 measures of dialogue in between each other, and then all of a sudden you just kind of lay your head over and just kind of, what I mean?
Yep. I only wanted the best for you.
Yeah, it's so cheesy, and it's usually done so badly. I can't stand it. Like one movie that I really like that makes fun of it is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
When when Paul Rubens gets stabbed and it
Mm-hmm.
misses his heart or
Oh.
whatever, and he's like kicking the steps and stuff like that. He's like, stuff like that. But I'm trying to think of I watched The Patriot the other day,
Okay.
like not that long ago, and when Heath Ledger gets stabbed, that scene or whatever where he's like on an inch of death,
Mm-hmm.
like just ready to die basically for 5 minutes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's
Yeah.
just like, hey, but he has to get this out. He's got
Yeah.
to get this out to his father.
Yeah.
It's like, God, it's such a, it's just so stupid. It's
Well,
like
you're
you get
yeah.
stabbed in the stomach with a sword, you're
Yeah.
gonna die very quickly.
And you're
You know
not,
what I mean?
you're not the only one to point that out. I mean, even Deadpool 2 satirized that because at the very end, when
Yeah.
Deadpool quote unquote dies, he's dying and everybody's crying and he's saying his goodbyes to everybody and how he, lived a full life and then he just can't go. He
Mhm.
just keeps popping back up. He's like, God, it's so hard to go. I see the light. Like, nope,
Yeah.
nope, that's just a glint. That's a glint.
Mhm.
And like to the point where their tears have dried up and they just want him to go. This is awkward. What do we do?
Yep.
We're just standing here watching you. Are you going to go or are you
Yep.
not going to go? Yeah.
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 Or one movie a movie that I really like, but the ending kind of does that a little bit in a different way, is 30 Days of Night, when
Hmm.
that girl's holding that guy and he's like just waiting for the sunrise or whatever.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep.
It takes him, usually a vampire will like burn out
Mm-hmm.
in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It takes him a good couple minutes just of him just screaming and like ash falling off him and stuff like that. And
Yep.
it seems like it's a very like, I don't know. It's not a very believable vampire death, I
Yep.
guess, because he's just being held. He's just flaking away. Yeah, I don't know.
No,
Stuff like that.
definitely. Definitely. Nope. I get
Yep.
it. I get it.
Yeah. So what do you got next?
All right. Next one. This has always been a pet peeve of mine because it comes from a
Okay.
writing perspective, not so much a cinematography perspective. That is
Mhm.
lazy exposition, where you
Okay.
have you have to disseminate a certain amount of information about your character, but you can do it in
Mhm.
clever ways to say, like somebody comes up and just says, hey, we've been friends for so long, you've done this, I know you. And like, those are
Mhm.
like little subtle ways to get the audience information. But like, I remember I've just watched the Fantastic Four First Steps and Sue Storm comes to Reed Richards and shows him that she's pregnant, and he looks at it, and the
Mhm.
first thing he says is, "We've been trying for 2 years." And I'm like, I think she knows how long you've been trying for, but like,
Right.
I just feel sometimes it gets a little patronizing. We're like, okay, thank you. We know that this was clearly for us, but like, it
Yeah.
doesn't come off as real. And I was just telling you this offline. In Captain America, I'm doing all Marvel references today. In Captain
Mhm.
America, Brave
No,
New
it's fine.
World, when they talk about President Ross, because a lot of it ties into the Incredible Hulk, they talk about President Ross and they talk about his estranged relationship with his daughter, and then the news anchor literally says Betty Ross also happens to be Bruce Banner's ex-girlfriend. And I'm like, who the fuck was that for?
Right.
Like, why would
Yeah.
you have to say? The only reason that any news anchor would credibly say that is because he was paid by the studio to say it to remind everybody in the
Mhm.
audience where we are. But I'm like, it just takes me right out of it because it's just lazy exposition. Also, if you're
Yeah.
spending more time telling me about the character and then rather than showing me, then that's another issue I have. If you want to talk about how somebody has a PhD, okay. If
Mhm.
you want to just show me their PhD degree on their wall in their office, so
Mhm.
much easier, so much better. You're not beating me over the head with all of this lazy exposition because what it attributes to really is just lazy writing. It's just
Yeah.
lazy. You need to find ways to disseminate information about your character
Mhm.
without info dumping.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say too, like, the movie The Crow.
Mm-hmm.
When you were saying like giving information about the character, one thing that I noticed, like every time he's going to like take revenge on somebody, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
This is one part of that movie I do not like. I love The Crow,
Yeah.
but like, he basically, before he's going to kill these people, he has to explain to them why. And it's like he's like he's like, a year ago on Halloween, you basically killed me and my fiance or whatever, And
Yeah.
these people look at him with such like confusion.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, how many people have you killed?
Yeah.
That a gruesome murder of two people on Halloween doesn't ring a bell. It's like, how many people are you just killing on a weekly basis?
I know.
So
Like,
it's like,
they'll do
like you see
flashbacks here
that
and
guy,
there.
and
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, you see that guy, you should know what's
Yeah.
going on. You know what I mean? Makeup apart, but
I think sometimes the hardest thing is to not have like the close relative or friend give the line that explains things to other people, because the closer relationship you have, the more
mm-hmm.
unnecessary it is to say those expository lines. Like your
Mm-hmm.
birthday is coming up on March 13th. No shit. They know when their birthday is, but if you're just like a random
Yep.
stranger reporting, like, and I see you have a birthday coming up, March 13th, is that correct? Like a complete stranger, or like somebody, an accountant or a banker or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
that's the way that you release information. But the closer relationship you have, the less they should be giving those expository lines,
Mm-hmm.
which means it's up to you as a writer to figure out how you're going to give that information to the audience without bashing them over the head, like, like, I don't know, like whack-a-mole.
Yeah. And then like on top of that too, if they don't like drill it into your head. Okay, one example too is like Con Air.
Yeah.
When that little girl's birthday is. How many times do they read that birthday card? It's like,
Yeah.
it's July 14th. My birthday's July 14th. I'm gonna meet my daddy for the first. How
Mhm.
many times? Like, you have to continuously tell us that your birthday is like this day and stuff like that. Sometimes they, like you said, sometimes movies do a really bad job of drilling it into your head, like in kind of dumb ways or whatever. But then sometimes they'll drop it on you subtly, like, oh, his brother-in-law says it just in a dumb way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or
Yeah.
just
Um,
the dumbest thing ever.
all right. So that was my exposition. What do you got?
Basically, I have one more pet
You
peeve. Like,
you went more
thing.
specific, right? Specific
Well,
projects.
I have I have three specific projects, but I do
Okay.
have one more thing about just lazy directing, I guess it should be
Okay.
in a way.
Interesting. I want to hear about that.
The endless gun clip.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep.
If you know, like, okay, I get it. So a lot of people don't know much about guns,
Mm-hmm.
but there is a reserve.
There's
You
a
know what I mean?
limit.
And it's not very big. Like a regular gun, 12 rounds at most. And these guys are, flying around corners, not reloading at all, but just jacking bullets everywhere. It's like,
For somebody who's not a gun enthusiast, is a round one bullet?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I got you.
So basically, um, I've had guns all my life. It's just kind of the place I was born. It's like,
Yeah.
you get a gun when you're like 6 years old around here. It's
Mm-hmm.
just what it is. Like, I have a handgun, and my handgun will hold my clips will hold 15 rounds of a double
Okay.
stacked bullet.
Okay.
So yeah, so like that's really it. You know what I mean? Unless you have an extender like with a huge clip, like
Mm-hmm.
an AK-47 or something, that's really only 30. It's anywhere from 30 to 45 rounds probably,
Yeah.
or bullets. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
not. You're not going to be shooting all day on that, and it's going to go quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, more like that. It's if you're going to shoot 500 rounds, I want to see an action of actually reloading your gun,
And even
stuff
more
like
than
that.
that, it does give an opportunity for the character to do something in character. Because I remember
Mm-hmm.
watching Saving Private Ryan, and the sniper, after every
Yeah.
shot, one, he
Mm-hmm.
lined up a shot, he took the shot, and then he reloaded in like the most badass way I've ever seen.
Yep.
You could hear the pings, you could hear the clicks and the pops, and then he would, focus again. And I was like, that is such a cool addition to his character that nobody else has, because he gets that
Well,
special, position.
oh yeah, and Saving Private Ryan had a lot of good details as far as guns. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's really good movies. Like Saving Private Ryan's a good movie. Like the sniper in Saving Private Ryan, he's left-handed, and they didn't have standard issue left-hand
Mm.
there's not that many left-handed rifles.
Mm-hmm.
Not back then anyway, not
Mm.
military, you know what I mean? So he reaches over and he racks his gun. He has to
Interesting.
reach over it, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And then oh yeah, I kind of maybe my camera went a little weird.
all right.
Uh is it good?
Yeah, you're
We're
good.
good, right?
Yep.
All right, good. And then another thing is if you pay attention when he's aiming down,
Mm-hmm.
he'll have a black and blue mark on his nail. Now, if you see that, it's called M1 Grand Thumb, I believe, or something like that, or M1 Thumb or something like that. They call them. Basically, the M1 Grand, like those pings you hear when they're shooting, and those
Mm.
pings you hear, that's the clip expanding out of the rifle because it's empty. It just automatically expands on the top. Now, to load that, you have to put that clip in with your thumb, and then it racks forward. So that would hit your thumb a lot. That
Oh,
movie's very good with detail because a lot of people had that black and blue mark
well,
from
that
that gun.
alone would make me not want to go to war. I don't want to bruise my thumb.
Yeah. No. No.
I am not cut out for war.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
even that movie is a little bit egregious with the rounds they give them per load. You know what I mean? Because the
Yeah.
M1 Grand, you probably have 8 rounds,
Yeah.
and there's not that many. There's some reloading, but it should be a lot more.
All right. So why do you think they don't reload as much as they should?
Uh, to be honest, because in the case of the World War II guns, I think you'd be reloading a lot,
Yeah, and
and then that
they need the
also.
movie to happen, you know?
Well, that's the thing. You need the movie to keep going. You
Yeah.
can't just sit here and reload a gun all the time. And on top of that, if you're gonna be true to what that gun is and how many rounds it will hold, you're gonna be a lot less. You're probably gonna shoot a lot less. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're probably gonna pick your shots a lot more
Mm-hmm.
in those some of those scenes. They're shooting there's ping 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 ping. You know what I
I
mean?
know. Yeah.
It's just letting it go.
Well,
So it's like that. Yeah.
as if only Upham got there in time.
Yeah, Oppum, that chicken
Upham.
shit.
All right. All right. So I guess piggybacking off of where you were saying with
Okay.
guns and the constant reloading, bad guys with bad aim. What do you think about
Hmm.
that? Like, I think immediately to
Oh
Star
yeah.
Wars, and Family Guy made fun of
Hmm.
Star Wars for it because no stormtrooper could hit anything.
Yep.
Han Solo, like, Eagle Eye every single time.
Hmm.
Stormtroopers couldn't hit. I think like they made some joke about him. They're like, why can't we, like, I don't know why these guns don't work. And
Yep.
like it's just like they couldn't shoot at all. And I'm like, okay, at least present
Yep.
some sort of threat. Don't just be a reason why the protagonists run away. Like maybe
Yeah.
hit somebody a little bit every now and then.
Yep. And like to your credit, the stormtroopers and stuff like that. There's red and green flying everywhere, everywhere, hornet's
Everywhere.
nest kind
Yep.
of stuff. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like
Yep.
thousands of guys shooting,
Yep.
and then like just like to what we were talking about too with Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
There's scenes in that where you're getting shot at with a 30 millimeter machine gun,
Yep.
and it's hitting the ground everywhere except for you.
Yep. Yep.
Nah. It's like you know how bad of a shot you would have to be. I could give that gun to a 10-year-old kid and he could hit just because it's spray and pray. You know what I mean? It's you
I
really
could
don't have to know how to shoot it
I just think
or like
back,
how to
like,
aim it.
I could just imagine, like, it makes me want to see an entire scene of like stormtrooper training, and it's just like some
Yeah.
bent out of shape old gym teacher who's like so disgruntled, and he's like, I don't
Mhm.
give a shit. Here's your gun.
There's a no, I was gonna say spoiler alert. There's a scene in Toxic Avenger that made me laugh so hard because it's like they're trying to infiltrate this like building or
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
And this chick's walking up to try to be like a distraction, try to be like act sexy and try to be a distraction. And all she says is, "Hey boys," and then all these two guards, one is like, "Whoa," like that, and he
Yeah.
shoots, and then they both shoot each other because it just scares them, and they both shoot each other. Yeah,
Oh, it's
but
funny.
but no, I totally get what you're saying. Like,
Like
you're hitting everything
yeah.
but the person you're
Yeah.
aiming
And
at.
we joke about it, it's funny, but like when you think
Mhm.
about it in terms of an actual cinematography storyline standpoint. You need to
Mhm.
make your protagonists, you need to put them through the ringer and make them feel like they're in actual danger. If you establish a reality in which none of the bad guys can aim for shit,
Yeah.
then I
Mhm.
don't believe that they're in any real danger. Like
Yeah.
they can fly
Mhm.
in the Millennium Falcon all they want through asteroid fields, avoiding T fighters and all that stuff. But if we don't actually see them hit anybody ever,
Yeah.
I don't think
Mhm.
they're a credible threat.
Mhm.
Unless you have a lightsaber
Well,
or the Force, you're not a credible threat at all.
yeah. Yeah. Well, like going back to Saving Private Ryan, that scene where Vin Diesel gets killed,
Uh
and
huh.
like where he gets shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but if that sniper is good enough to hit Vin Diesel at about 1,000 yards,
Yeah.
and hit him in a spot where it's a one shot and he's gonna bleed out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, when he's looking through his scope and stuff like that, he's seeing people like kind of he's looking they're on the other side of that car,
Yeah.
but you're seeing helmets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If he's that good of a shot, I'm sorry, but you're dead.
I know.
Like if
I know.
any
I know.
any part of your body is sticking out, if he's got that much talent to hit you, he's gonna hit you.
I know. I did
Mhm.
have to suspend my disbelief there because I was like, I
Yeah.
was nervous for anybody else who was trying to help him. And
Mhm.
we did see through his scope. We saw the moving helmets.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh
Mhm.
God, but I thought they were just going to shoot Vin Diesel a second time. But why waste your
Yeah.
bullet? So,
Well, and then on top of that too, it's like it was weird because he was waiting for them to come and rescue Vin Diesel,
yep.
but they were 5 feet away and he could see exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and then on top of that too, that sniper that takes that shot to set up. If your scope's set up, you're not
Mm-hmm.
going to sit there for 5 minutes trying to aim down a. You know what I mean? It's going
Yeah.
to be quicker than that.
Yeah. It's just the dramatic tension that they got to build,
Oh, I get
you
it.
know?
Where he's saying the prayer and bringing his
Uh
gun
huh.
up and
Yep. Well, they completely removed the music. It's just the sound of the falling
yep.
rain,
Mhm.
and he's just
Mhm.
slowly looking through, and he sees him set up, and there he goes.
Yeah, because like I said, if he's gonna hit you that far, like that sniper guy says, he's like he was on the ground before you heard the shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a that's so far away. It's like if
Yeah.
he's gonna
Yeah.
hit him with one shot without even like setting anything up, like a marker, like a vantage point marker to know this is 600 yards. This is
Yep. Yep.
I'm sorry, but hiding behind a car, you're dead.
Right.
There's two things that I have specific gripes with. And then
Okay.
I told you one movie that I just think is abysmal, just dog shit. Um, okay, the Leprechaun one. I
Okay.
told you, I told you I have an issue with this because it is supposed to be filmed in North Dakota, I believe.
Oh, it's a personal beef.
So it's supposed to it's supposed to be in North Dakota, right?
Yep.
And then when in certain scenes during the day, you can see mountain ranges in the background. Now, I will give you $1 million if you can go anywhere in North Dakota and see a mountain range.
They just
Anywhere.
they didn't paint him out. That's funny.
It's not gonna happen.
Oh
Like
my
I'm talking
god.
Rocky Mountains in the distance, like
Wow. So,
20 miles that
do you know
way.
where they
No.
actually shot?
I believe it was shot in California.
Okay.
Like but I think it's supposed to be either filmed in North Dakota or set in North Dakota.
All right. So
I
this
can't really
really
remember I can't remember if it's filmed in California or it's filmed in North Dakota, but if it's filmed in North Dakota, it's filmed in the Badlands, and then it's not. There's no mountains
yeah,
anywhere
no,
near the
definitely
Badlands.
not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
But
we have yeah. We have that
it's
issue all
supposed
the
to be.
time where, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if people don't want to shoot in any one of the boroughs here in like Brooklyn or Queens, they'll go down to
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans or somewhere in Chicago or Atlanta and they'll just make it look like one of the boroughs, and that's what they'll do because it's just so much easier to spend time
Yep.
and space down there. And we get that all
Well,
the
then
time.
yeah, and then like to the credit of New York City too, every time they film in New York City, it seems like they want it to be like the assumption that everywhere in New York City is just concrete jungle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like
Mhm.
I mean, New York City has smaller neighborhoods that have maybe 6-story buildings, but
Yeah.
they want it
Mhm.
to seem like you're just
Yeah.
enclosed
Which is
with
why
buildings.
when you choose to go to some of those boroughs, say like if you go into Brooklyn and you have those buildings that are just look like a regular, city block, you could
Yep.
go anywhere and just turn that into something that looks Brooklyn light.
Yep.
So you could go over to like
That's
Jersey and get that.
that's one reason why I really like the Sopranos,
Mm-hmm.
because there was not a lot of scenes that were in a city. Let's
Yep.
put it that
Yep.
way.
Yep.
It was very much a neighborhood,
Yep.
in a
Right.
smaller neighborhood at
Mm-hmm.
that. So it's like, yeah, I get what you're saying too. Like
Mm-hmm.
with the New York, they exploit that a little. Well, not exploit it, but kind of turn it into like everyone thinks that all of New York City is this, and it's really not. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Well, and I mean, and that's kind of the exciting part. And they do want when they're setting somewhere, they do want it to be one a recognizable location because if you're going to shoot in New York City, unless
Mhm.
you're shooting like you don't really care if people recognize it or not. Why shoot in New York City other than the
Mhm.
fact that like it's a recognizable place and it serves the plot well. Hopefully, it serves the plot well, and you're not just
Yeah.
throwing it in New York City. Um, like, do you know why leprechauns had to be shot in North Dakota? Did it
I
serve the
think
story at all?
I think it was just set there. I think the main dude that like trapped the leprechaun or something like that
Mm-hmm.
lived in North Dakota, and he had the most obnoxious Irish accent too. I don't understand that, because it's like we're like most of the people from North Dakota are German or Norwegian. There's
Yeah.
not that many Irish people here, and like he sounded like he was off the boat 2 hours ago. You know what I
Like,
mean?
we're
Like,
going to get a leprechaun
oh
for you.
man, the most obnoxious, like Warwick Davis character times 10. It's
Wow.
so bad. It's like
Like
it's
cartoonishly bad.
terrible.
I
Terrible.
didn't know you had mountains up in
Yeah.
here.
Now, I'm not really sure why or if it had to be filmed there. I think it was just that was part of the storyline of the first one.
Did it have to
Just
be
like
rural? Like
um
farmland?
yeah, I think so, because it
Okay.
was like he was like it was supposed to be the guy, I think, moved here from Ireland, and then he was holding this leprechaun in this like safe or something like that with
Oh my
4-leaf clover.
god. Oh my god.
But oh yeah, dude,
Oh my
you've never
god.
seen the leprechauns, have you? Have you
No,
seen the
what the
leprechaun?
hell?
Oh yeah. Well, the thing about the leprechaun is if he's in a box and you put a 4-leaf clover on top, he's trapped, or like wrought iron. I know, right? He can rip your lungs
What
out of
the
your body,
hell?
but he can't get through a box if there's
Oh
a
my
4-leaf
god.
clover on it. It just renders him powerless or something like that.
That's so funny.
But
That's like Mega Man and in Mega Mind, his or Metro Man, his weakness is
yeah.
copper.
Oh, like the
That's so funny.
Leprechaun. It's Don't get me wrong, the Leprechaun's dumb as shit. It's such a dumb movie. But
I
like there's
got
a
it.
part in the movie where they're reaching into a tree because they think there's like a creature that's injured or something like that, and they're reaching in the tree and he bites their hand, and they think it's a creature that bit. It's so
I
dumb.
I can't deal with that.
But it's like it's very much that. It's like a rural, like, and he's
Mm-hmm.
running around. It's like a farm basically. Like it kind of looks like the Badlands a
Yep.
little, like somewhat. The
Mm-hmm.
Badlands are kind of like arid and
Yep.
not there's not a lot of green in the Badlands, stuff like that.
Yep.
But it was Jennifer Aniston's first movie. I mean, if
Oh,
that's worth anything.
I no, but I'll watch it.
No, it's not worth anything. No,
um,
I get it.
how many more do you got left before?
I got
Before?
I got two more.
Okay, cool. All right. We got two
Yep.
each. All right. One that I cannot forgive. The last one that I have, somewhat forgivable because I kind of understand from an editing perspective, but this one I cannot forgive for the life of me. Conveniently dumb characters, specifically characters who we try to portray as smart but constantly make
Mhm.
dumb decisions. Like I'll give you a perfect example. Every character in a scary movie, every character in a
Yeah.
scary movie that shouldn't go to the cemetery at night alone, or shouldn't like look
Hmm.
outside in the or walk out of their house in pitch black when they hear a noise, or like Jaime Lannister in the last season of Game of Thrones. Why after
Yep.
that entire arc you would go back, and that's probably more egregious than the scary movie protagonist making a dumb mistake because they haven't established that they've made good decisions in prior to all of that. But Jaime Lannister had an entire series of making better and better and better decisions after all of his mistakes, and then going
Yeah.
right back to his sister and dying with her at the very end. I was like, that
Mhm.
that's unforgivable. But
Yeah.
I think I want to focus more on scary movie protagonists making the dumbest mistakes. And I want to ask you,
Mhm.
is that something that has to happen for a scary movie to take place? Can we have a protagonist that is actually smart and clever?
Um, I mean, in a way, I think there has to be a lot of bad decisions made. Like I said, for a scary movie to be kind of like set up, I guess there has to be like, oh, let's run down this hallway, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? This dark
yeah,
hallway and
yeah.
see, let's see what's going on here.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I would say there is a place for it. It kind of has to be there because most of the horror movies are just lumbering people walking towards you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you could get away from that person pretty easily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then so I think there has to be an element of that just to make it seem like this person could kind of get you,
Yeah.
I guess.
I just there are times when I'm seeing
Mhm.
somebody when I think that somebody makes a good decision, like something happens at their home, and so they book a hotel cities away, and
Mhm.
they're on the top floor, and they're safe and everything, they're
Mhm.
fine, and then they get like a knock at the door, or something moves in the kitchen, and then they make
Yeah.
a beeline for that sound, and I'm like, why are
Yeah.
you here in the first place, you
Yeah. Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
idiot?
Right. There's a growl in the kitchen. We better
Yeah.
go see what it
It's like,
is.
oh, I'm safe. I spent thousands of dollars on this new hotel room so I can stay away from my haunted house. There's a sound. And
Hmm.
I'm like,
I mean,
I hope you die now.
that's kind of like I said. That's a little bit kind of like as far as the leprechaun. It's so stupid. Like
I have to
as
add that
far
to
as
my list now.
that level,
Yeah.
because like how he gets out of the crate, he manipulates somebody with like a nice voice and all that stuff to kind of
Mm-hmm.
like take the 4-leaf clover off.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, there's manipulation and this stuff like that. One movie that I think does really well with not so much bad decisions, but like not very good decisions either. Because
Mm-hmm.
let's be honest, if I heard a couple things, I'd be out of that place. I'm not staying. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like,
Yep.
um, or actually two movies. Let's say Barbarian. We both watched Barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you woke up and you heard something breathing outside of your bedroom door and then trouncing down the hallway and running down the stairs, are you gonna be like, "Oh, this must have been the wind"? You're gonna be like, "I'm fucking out of here."
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I'd
like
pack my shit and I'd be like, That's enough excitement for me, man."
it's either the soul of Lucifer incarnate himself, or it's a
Yeah,
breeze.
yeah, because you look and that guy's still sleeping on the couch, and it's like he didn't just wake up, run over, and then fall asleep really quick. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like,
And you know
and
what?
then something,
I'm completely
something
unarmed,
that heavy.
but I'm gonna go look at it anyway.
Yup.
I don't
And then
care.
another movie that I think does really well with that is not so much bad decisions and stuff like just kind of like trying to figure out what's going on is the Strangers.
Yep.
You've seen
Mm-hmm.
Strangers or
Yep.
whatever? Because they're not really making bad decisions. They're just trying to kind of figure out what's going on. And then that one lady knocks on the door to kind of check it out. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yep.
So it's like after that, I'm sorry, but I don't know if I'd be gone,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd be really like, yeah, maybe we should just both hang out in this room, this well lit room, you know,
Yeah.
for the rest
Yeah.
of the, and then if we keep hearing shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
Maybe
And you
they
know,
can
it's
have my $40.
right. And it's like a never ending, path if you
Mhm.
go down that road of, I would do this, I would do that, I would do that. But that's kind of up to the writing of a scary movie. Like you need to
Yeah.
kind of as a writer get rid of all those what if isms because the audience is
Mhm.
going to try to pick your thing apart and it's not a really good it's not a really good thing if the audience is thinking, well, your protagonist gets what's coming to him because he's an idiot.
Well, yeah, yep. Or like in the Evil Dead when they find that book in the basement,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's it's got wraps on it, it's got barbed wire on it to keep people from getting to it. It's like, oh, let's undo all this shit and see what's in here. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is interesting. Let's read a verse. Nah, man,
Yeah.
that can stay down there.
Yep.
No,
All right.
that's a little too weird for me.
Yep.
I'm gonna start with just the movie. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but this movie was just the absolute worst movie I've ever seen, probably ever seen in my life. It from start to finish, it has no purpose really from start to finish. It doesn't give you any information. It's part of a series of movies,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna say 28 years later.
Heard of it?
So
Obviously, don't know anything about it.
it's supposed to be like a coming of age kind of thing for this kid to go when you get a certain age, you go on the land and you go for your first zombie hunt, and then they hunt for resources as well. But there's no purpose to any of this. Like they're putting themselves in danger for nothing. Because on top of that, when they go to the land, they go maybe less than a mile inland. You've lived on this island for 28 years. You don't think you've ransacked, you know what I mean, those buildings
Yeah. Yeah.
already?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you've gone far enough to know what's 10 miles away, but you're looking in the kitchen of a house that's right off the shore that you've probably been to a
Yeah.
million
Yeah.
times. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like not much has changed. And then on top of that, too, it's like they don't give you much information as far as like zombies. And like zombies have levels in that movie. It just seemed too cartoonish. You know what I mean? It's like because it's like you're sitting in a house to try to avoid zombies that are just looking at the house waiting for you to come out.
Oh, they don't go in.
And no, that's the thing. It's like you like Dawn of the Dead. That zombie would chase you to death. You know what I mean? It takes one them going into the attic of a house for the zombie to those zombies to chase them in the house. And then they're just like, oh, okay. I guess they're in the house now. You know what I mean?
Well, he's in the
And then
house. Well, what can we do?
yeah. And then they're just peeking out the attic looking, and then there's just zombies on a hill staring at the houses waiting for you to come out.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't be able to take that movie seriously after that.
It was terrible. I mean, when I say terrible, I've seen a lot of shitty movies. I went and saw Scary Movie 4 in theaters, and I would get up and give it a standing ovation for that movie over 28 years later. I 15 minutes in, I thought that movie sucked, and it didn't change my mind the whole time. It's like there's no point in this. There's a point, but it made no sense. You know what I mean? It's like it just it made no sense.
That's like
This kid's mom is sick. They don't know what it is, but then they also know there's a doctor 10 miles away, but they think he's crazy, but he's still a doctor, so it's good. It's just like, what are we doing here?
I
You know what I
love
mean?
I love that movie got you to physically question your own decision making.
Oh man, I couldn't do it. Like I was like, it's basically if you gave a 10-year-old the right to to make a movie. It's just
Yeah. You know what we
no
should do?
substance.
We should
No
that should
substance.
be our first video that or movie that we watch live on Patreon together. We got to
28
do
years
that
later,
and
oh,
just
I'm
rip
totally
it
down.
apart. We got to rip it
I'm
apart.
totally down.
Yeah. All right. That
To
sounds
be
good.
honest, I think you should always give something like two watches before you start making your decisions. But I don't think I could beat my head against the wall that much.
Or maybe like a written screenplay for 28 years later, maybe 2 reviews before putting it to screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then also it's like it's just so all over the place because like these people don't know much about these zombies. But then let's go to this doctor that's 5 miles that way. He knows so much about the zombies that he knows how to tranquilize them. He knows how to like make his body almost like camouflaged against the
Oh,
zombies. it's like, what is going on? You know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
these
yeah.
people too, like they come during like low and high tide, but you don't have to wait until the bridge is completely uncovered to use it because there's like arches. You just
Okay.
line up the arches. You would think in 28 years a zombie would figure that out. You know what I mean? Like just because there's parts in the movie where they're coming down those arches, like you know what I mean, and it's I don't know, it's just dumb. It
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
would
I don't know. I
I'll
get it.
watch it with you. I'll watch it with you, and then I just want to. I want to watch it with you, and then I want to have a discussion about it afterwards,
We'll
just to
probably
hear
have some
kind.
live commentary to like rip it apart during the movie anyway.
It's yeah, because it's just all over the place. Like there's no gradual like kind of going into something either. It's like very much it's like, oh, we're walking down the forest. Now we're getting chased by 50 zombies. Oh, I guess that's over. Now we're gonna walk down the forest a little bit more.
No,
And you would think in England, if everyone's a zombie, there would be more zombies. You know what I mean? That was one of my gripes with
probably.
it too. It's like, there's probably gonna be
Yeah.
more zombies.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Um, all right.
And then
Go ahead.
did you have another one?
Yep, I do. So my
Oh,
last
let's
one,
hear it.
like I said, is a little bit more forgivable because I understand you're only dealt the takes that you have. So because
Mhm.
of that, I can kind of overlook it. Now, my last one, it's not by any means a hate. It's something I wish people would be a little bit more cognizant of, and that is bad dubbing slash ADR. Now, for those
Yeah.
of you who don't know what ADR is, ADR stands for Automated Dialogue Replacement. And so what
Yep.
that is if somebody is speaking on screen and they're in the city or something like that and it doesn't sound good, they'll go back in the studio and they'll record it over so it'll come off a little clearer. That's not really
Mhm.
what I have an issue with. It's the dubbing that people will speak, and the way that you'll see it most of all, and if you see it, it's one of those things, if you see it you can't unsee it ever again in any other
Mhm.
show or film. It's when somebody is listening and you have somebody talking who's either off screen or you just see their shoulder and like their side profile jawline, and they're usually
Mhm.
blurred out and the person is listening and that person is talking who you just see blurred out. But if you look at their jawline, if you look at how their mouth moves, it doesn't look anywhere close to the lines that they're speaking
Mhm.
in that you
Mhm.
can automatically hear. I'm like, that didn't sound like anything that I just saw come from their mouth. They'll even
Yep.
pause and then the mouth will keep moving and be like, I just want you to know that I really love you and I really want you to be happy.
Yep.
And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening now? Why do they do that? They do that because they're dealt the take that they have, and what they're focusing on the
Mhm.
most is the take of the person who's receiving the information, who's being talked at,
Mhm.
that's in focus. That's the take that they care about. That person's reaction, their emotional performance, that's what they care about. They don't really care so
Mhm.
much about the person that they blurred out, and that's why they can ADR them maybe cheaply. So that's why I can kind of overlook it, because if you're doing it because you like the take of the person that's in focus, then you're going to use that take no matter what. So I can kind of
Mhm.
overlook it, but from a visual perspective, it's off-putting to me.
Yeah. It's like almost like a Korean dub. You know what I mean? Like over
Yep, yep,
English.
yep, yep. Dude, can I be honest with you? I watched the first two episodes of Squid Game with the English translation.
Oh man.
I didn't
Yep.
realize that they weren't speaking in English for two whole episodes. I was like, this is uncanny. How is this a
Yeah.
Korean show? And then I was
It's like
like,
why is his
oh,
mouth?
dumbass.
Why is that guy's mouth still moving?
I was like, they're really doing some good puppetry here. Is this part of the show or the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One um one oh, what is the name of it? It was like he kind of made fun of that whole thing. It was oh man, am I gonna that's gonna bug me right now. Oh, the is it Kung Fu Hustle or something like
Oh
that?
God,
This
I have no idea. That does not ring a
it
bell to me.
was it's one of those parody movies. It's like almost like an MXC kind of inspired movie where it's English dubbed over like a Korean or Japanese movie, but it's like a comedic dub. Like
Okay. Gotcha.
It's like it's something like that, Kung Fu Hustle or something like that. But it's I'll figure it. I'll send it to you. But
Gotcha.
there's certain movies like that that kind of just make fun of it, and I enjoy that kind of thing. But
Yeah,
yeah, I've
definitely.
one of the first movies that I watched that I think does the English dub really well was kind of like the Squid Games when you said like it took you a little bit was the Parasite.
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
thought Parasite did that really well, just because sometimes it's sometimes with the dubbing, with the emotion and stuff like that, or what's going on in the scene, it matches really well
Mm,
in English or Korean. So
mm. Yeah,
I don't know. I
I never
just
saw that in English. I always just listened to the actual Korean.
in Parasite.
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah, I watched the English dub and it was all right.
A
Like
scene I literally had nightmares from that movie, and it's one scene in particular. It's the scene where the little kid is looking. He's getting a midnight snack, and he looks at the basement door, and that guy
yep,
just creepily just like pops up out of
yeah,
nowhere, and it's just his bug eyes, and
hmm,
it scared the
oh yeah,
shit out of me.
oh yeah.
I couldn't sleep for an entire night after that. I don't know why. It was so stupid. I'm easily scared, and my channel knows that. That's why they recommend horror films, bastards.
Oh man, I think a really good movie for you to watch would be Weapons.
You know what? That's
As
on my
far as
list.
like
That is on my list. I definitely am gonna watch
so
that.
good,
Yep, for
it's
sure.
so good. Yeah,
Yep.
well, I think we had a discussion about it. It's the same guy that made Barbarian,
Okay. Yep. Yep.
so he made that or whatever. So it's kind of like it's gonna be filmed in kind of that kind of way, and
Gotcha.
but there's so many just creepy imagery and stuff like that in Weapons that I think is really gonna be fun for you.
Okay. All right. We'll do that. We'll fine.
Yeah,
Um.
but no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like just that subtlety of like the eyes, you know what I mean? Or I think a good example of like the eye thing for me is in the first remake of It, like the new It or whatever. When
Yep.
he's right in the beginning, when Georgie loses his boat and he's talking to Georgie, his eyes. If you watch his eyes, they change so much in that scene because they go
Pennywise
from yeah,
in the sewer.
yep,
Okay.
yep. Because if you watch it, they're like gold,
Uh
or
huh.
there's like a different color, but then they change to blue
Oh.
because Georgie's eyes are blue, or like Jordan, not Georgie, his brother, I think his eyes are blue or something like
Okay.
that. He's changing his image to like be more appealing to the kid.
Hmm.
And then as he goes back and forth in the shadow, it changes his eyes. I think it's just one of the if you watch it again, just pay attention to that scene when he's in the sewer because
Yeah.
it's one of the best uses of that. I think like
Yeah.
where he's trying to make himself look appealing to this kid and not
Yeah.
scare him away, but when he goes back in the shadows, his eyes turn back like goldish and
Yeah.
stuff
It's
like
like a
that. It's
little angler fish with the light luring fish in.
pretty much
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all Pennywise is, man.
Cool.
Um,
All right. You had one last one, right?
all right, the last one for me
Here we go. Here's
is
the ender.
okay. It's not a great movie. Like I'm gonna be honest. If you watch it, you're not gonna probably enjoy it. But The Iceman. Now The
Okay.
Iceman came out. It was a Michael Shannon, I think we were talking
I
about.
think you said,
The
yeah. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, yeah. So he's the Iceman in it, or whatever. And basically the movie to me,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was gonna be because it would be so easy to make this movie
Yep.
because there's 20 hours of him explaining his crimes
Mm-hmm.
just right in front of you. This is how I did it, this is why I did it, this is where I did it,
Mm-hmm.
this is what happened. And I don't think they could have got the story like I don't think they could have screwed the story up any worse than they did.
Hmm.
Like there's a like I told you before we started kind of filming a little bit, they made him seem like a ruthless killer, which he was,
Mm-hmm.
but he was a very calculated killer.
Okay.
He knew how he was going to do it to get away with it. He knew where he was going to do it to make it seem like there's no witnesses. On top of that, where they're going to be most vulnerable, and he knew why he was going to do it.
Okay.
He's getting paid. He got paid by the mob. He was a mob hitman. And there's scenes in this movie that make him seem like, oh, this is just. They make him seem like a serial killer, like a deranged serial killer, like an Ed Gein or something like that, where he has mental problems and stuff like that, which he probably did. But like he had the ability to like shut it off and kind of he had no compassion. It was just this is why I'm doing it. This is what I'm doing, kind of thing.
Okay.
But there's scenes like there's a scene. Richard Kuklinski, he got pissed off at a guy in a bar, and he went outside in the alley. Like this is the true story. He went outside in the alley, and he hung the guy over his. He was a huge man too. He's like 6'6", like just massive guy. And he put something around this guy's neck, and he hung him over his back like this. Now in the movie, in real life, he did it outside of a bar.
Yeah.
He did it because he just didn't like him,
Okay.
and then he did it. He did it. He did it like as the guy was pissing in the alleyway.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie, for some reason, they're on top of a building, like they're on a roof, and he's doing that like it's a mob hit. That was one of the few things that he did that wasn't a mob hit. That was just because if you pissed him off, he's probably going to kill you. Like,
Gotcha.
There's stuff like that as well. That's kind of how he got on the mob's radar, and he started killing for the mob.
Gotcha.
Like, and another thing, he used cyanide. Now, in the movie, he would shoot you, and then he would use a spray bottle and spray your mouth with a cyanide solution.
Oh my God.
But in real life, he did one or the other. He didn't mix things like that. And
he wasn't a contaminant. He was a clean, neat body. Okay.
Well, do you know why he was called the Iceman?
Could he not drink things straight?
No. He would kill a person, and then he would keep them in a freezer.
Oh.
And then he would just put their frozen body on a park bench one day. So you would never
thaw?
Yep. You would never know when or where this body was killed.
Does cyanide affect like freezing or anything? Or
no. Like cyanide was just used as a method to kill.
Okay.
So what he would do with cyanide is he would pour it in his drink at a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like one guy that he killed, he poured it in his drink, like the one that he had in his hand. And then he acted like he bumped into the guy at the bar and spilled his drink on him. Now, it just seemed like an accident, but then 2 days later, with all that cyanide going into your pores and stuff like that, 2 days later, you're dead or whatever. So he would use that as a method to kill, or he would shoot you, or he would strangle you, and then he would get instructions on like one guy he got instructions on. You're supposed to tie him, put him in the sewers, and let the rats eat him or whatever.
Oh.
But he did that because he was getting paid.
Yeah. Can I be honest with you for a second?
What's up? What's up?
I have a sweet potato pie and 2 apple pies in my freezer right now, and that thing is at capacity. So I'm more interested right now in the make and model of his freezer that he would use, because I need a good freezer guy.
Well, and then do you know, like, the person get this? The person that he got the cyanide from was the Mr. Frosty guy.
Wait, like the ice cream truck guy?
The ice cream truck guy.
What was his beef?
He was just a guy that you could buy weapons from.
My God.
And he sold the Iceman cyanide. Yep. Oh, it's a crazy story.
That is crazy.
But like, that's
how
we
use cyanide. You're not making me want to not watch it.
Oh, dude.
Just to be honest.
Like, what I would do is watch the Iceman tapes first if you haven't.
So your gripe is that it is not true to the original story. It was Hollywood. It was dramatized.
Oh, way too much. Way too much.
All right. So your biggest thing is authenticity to the original material.
Well, with something like that, you have to be.
Yeah.
Just because.
Well, look how nice they made P.T. Barnum in Greatest Showman.
Well, I get it, but it's like with the Iceman, you have to try to not be authentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He gave you everything.
Yeah.
He gave you everything. Everything he did to the detail, he would tell you in the Iceman tapes. And then you wanted to put him on a rooftop for some reason. I don't know why. Like when he's hanging that guy.
Yeah.
And the cyanide put in a spray bottle. It wasn't always in a spray bottle. He spilled it on you. That's how he, killed you. But that's my gripe with that movie. It's too Hollywood.
Yeah.
They went outside the box and they didn't have to. Like I said, it seemed like you would almost have to try harder to not do it authentically.
Yeah.
Because,
my
you could
guess
make a
is
movie.
that I assume that they did it because they didn't want people to come out with more questions or be taken aback as to why he chooses the gun now, why he chooses the cyanide, and just for the sake of lack of explaining, just say, oh, this is his signature, he does both, when in reality, obviously, he doesn't. So, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what their reasons are. We should check in and see if there's an interview or something.
Yeah, but like on top of that too, I think you could do a better job with. I think it would make for a better scene showing him pour cyanide in his drink and spilling it on somebody, and then showing the guy 2 days later, sick in his house, dying. You know what I mean? It's like that level of calculation.
Yeah.
Not shoot you 3 times in the stomach with a silenced gun and then take my spray bottle out and spray in the mouth with some cyanide.
My miracle grow.
Yeah, it's like those 9mm bullets aren't going to do the job on their own. I better spray some cyanide. When you could have just did that anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be a dick move if he shot him and then just sprayed some salt water on the wound.
Yeah, and then on top of that too, the actor Michael Shannon to play the Iceman, he is not an intimidating big person. The Iceman was a massive, massive man, and
gotcha.
Like he looks like he just looks like a skinny guy in a big trench coat. Basically, it's like it's gonna be
gotcha.
It's gonna be worse.
So it's mainly the fact that it really wasn't true to the original story, which you felt had enough material to keep to get the movie off the ground.
Well, like I said, there's 20 hours of him explaining his crime. You know what I mean? At least 20 hours. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's
sense.
basically my
totally makes sense. And hey, for the audience out there, we went through all of these issues that we have, not to kind of be like a complaint fest about cinema and TV film like that, but really to get you guys, give you an opportunity to understand that there are so many different things that you can have that can take you out of a film. So for somebody who's a writer, somebody who's an artist, you could have the best CGI, the best visual effects, but if they don't make sense towards the story or the context, then they're going to take the audience out. So something like continuity, something like not being true to the original material, something like bad ADR, bad dubbing, something like, lazy exposition, lazy writing, that stuff will take you out of the project. And for somebody who wants the audience, their attention for an entire 120 minutes, like you have to have that locked down. And that's what this is all about, really. Yeah.
And then on top of that too, like you said, it's not a complaint fest. It's just pointing out stuff we didn't like. But on top of that, it's also promoting, don't listen to reviews on stuff. Take that ride yourself.
Yep.
Find what you don't like about it. Because like I said, I hated 28 Years Later, but I sat through it for 2 hours in a movie theater. So it's like, I think I always promote, take that ride yourself and come up with your own.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, but a guy that's going to review a movie, he doesn't know what you like. Just
Yeah,
watch
exactly.
the movie.
Not to mention the fact that reviewer is going to be looking for a lot more different things than you probably are.
Yeah.
If like something is resurgent, and if you're just going there looking for basic entertainment and you're entertained, good job. If the reviewer is there and he's looking for X, Y, and Z and how this falls in line with the lore and the the sequence of the prequels and everything, that's a whole different story. But if you enjoy it for how you enjoy it, great.
But that's more my promoting thing. It's like, take that ride yourself, and then if you hate it, you hate it, but at least you watched it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. No contention there. All right. Hey, This was great. I love going through these. Hey, we'll be back next time going through the same thing, but with music that we wish could be a little better, or things that we wish would change with the way music is nowadays. I don't know. We'll see what it is. You'll see what it is. Johnny, you got anything else?
Nope. That should do it.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much for being here on another episode. We'll see you next time.
See ya.